Yo, what is up, guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys. And today we're going to talk about a fragrance that is actually requested by some people, some subscribers in the channel. And this is a flanker of a well-known cheapie series, guys. And it comes with some hype. A lot of people are raving about it, but also from what I found, it seems like there are some mixed reviews as well. So today I will be giving my full no hype breakdown on this scent and what I eventually think of this. Let's go. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. Okay, liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel as we head towards 28,000 subscribers. So please continue all your support, guys. Deep dive into my over 900 no hype videos and shop at our affiliate links below and with our friends of the channel. Thank you so much for all your support. And the fragrance that we'll be talking about today is none other than the latest Afnan 9 p.m. flanker for 2026. This is none other than Afnan 9 p.m. Night Out. Yes, Afnan 9 p.m. Night Out. And 9 p.m. clearly is the beginning of a night out, right? I guess all these 9 p.m.s are geared towards that kind of usage, which is pretty clear and nice. That's really good that, you know, they have the usage already set out as the name of the fragrance, so that if you are looking for something to wear on these nights out, definitely you can refer to these 9 p.m. and, you know, the Afnan 9 p.m. flankers. Now, this one right here comes with a really nice bottle. A lot of people are raving about the bottle. Kind of looks like a disco ball or disco glitter type of bottle. Some people are saying it's shattered glass. I think it's like the white noise background on TV, but a lot of people are raving about this bottle. But more importantly, like I said, the juice is where it's at. Some people are saying it's a dupe of something. Some people are saying that no, this is a unique fragrance on its own. Anyways, I'm here to give you guys the full no hype breakdown on this fragrance and what I think of this scent. Let's go spray this thing right now. Okay, guys, now let's talk about this fragrance right here, the latest Afnan 9 p.m. flanker, Afnan 9 p.m. Night Out. Starting with this opening right here, which, you know, to be honest, this is really where it's at. And although you have a very interesting fragrance pyramid that has the notes of like cognac, akigala wood, you got ambro fix, which is in blue talisman at the dry down of this fragrance eventually. Those were all really interesting, but as you actually wear this fragrance, it is the intro that gives you the most impact, and it is a long-lasting impact, okay? So this intro here has the notes of apple, bergamot, and lavender. These are some standard issue designer openers that are very mass appealing and lovely. And again, I'm not a designer master right here. I mean, some of these reviewers have smelled maybe 1,000 permutations of the same designer scent, but this opening right here before the big clincher comes in is actually the one that smells like something else. Okay, so when people refer to this as a dupe, I don't think they're thinking about the rest of the fragrance, but it's right here, right now on this opening right here with the combination of apple, bergamot, and lavender. This is where a lot of people say it smells like something. And when I first smelled this, I mean, of course, I don't have that kind of referencing, but to me, it smelled like, I don't know, like a 1 million or like a Le Male or like, you know, Versace Arrows, one of these things, okay? But definitely, this is a very designer-ish, you know, citrus, apple, lavender combination that is used and abused in many, many designer fragrances, that I will say. Now, of course, after smelling this designer-ish intro within maybe 10 minutes, okay, which is really not a lot right here, as you are smelling this, you know, mass appealing apple, citrus, and lavender intro, in comes the big note that really changes everything. And this is the big modifier that they placed here in Afnan 9 p.m. Night Out, and that's none other than dragon fruit. Okay, now dragon fruit, concept-wise, would be a tropical note, but here it is a very strong synthetic fruity note that literally either cuts through the opening that's kind of like designer-ish and adds into it, but definitely it changes the entirety of the smell of the intro of this fragrance. And, you know, there are some interpretations. Some people are smelling, you know, basically bubble gum, and they're saying it's like a bubble gum intro placed by this synthetic dragon fruit, this fruity note that comes in. To me, it's either that or, and this is the first time ever after nearly 1,000 videos, making 1,000 videos, I'm gonna say that this dragon fruit could also smell like a restroom, like urinal cakes slash like restroom cleaner, pink restroom fruity cleaner that I have smelled in a lot of hospital restrooms. It's either or, okay? It's either you smell the bubble gum or you smell kind of like urinal cleaner, okay? The fruity urinal cleaner that's so strong. And that, in my opinion, is really the point of contention of this fragrance right here, because you really can't escape it. It's really a very strong, synthetic, fruity note that really almost like wipes out the intro. I mean, you still get the intro, don't get me wrong, you'll still get to smell that. Matter of fact, this is supposed to even have a cognac note, which in my opinion is really barely there. It's very mild. It's just kind of like a background note, like a woodsy slash cognac background note, but is gonna be that dragon fruit really dominating the airspace, guys, with its pink fruity smell that, like I said, will either smell like bubblegum for you or like a restroom. Okay, first time for me to say this, but that is true. As a matter of fact, when I had some people come in, they were like, smells like a restroom. Smells like a restroom because of that really loud, strong dragon fruit. So in my opinion, this is the point of contention of this fragrance. And let me tell you guys that this dragon fruit does not easily go away. So that is my warning, something that you might want to test with this fragrance right here. Now, when it comes to sillage and projection, like I said, there's no escape, and this intro is quite strong. And matter of fact, in my opinion, you should do this with minimal sprays. Okay, I am using only a very small sample sprayer, but can you imagine if you actually had the big bottle and you literally douse yourself with this? This is, I mean, it could be considered a beast mode if you actually sprayed a lot more. So definitely, you know, be conservative with your sprays unless you really intend to be, you know, the center of attention wherever it is that you're going because of the smells. And remember, when it comes to center of attention, it's 50-50. You can get the attention in a good way and you can get attention in a bad way. Okay, that's something I learned with these very loud beast mode fragrances. I've known people that have worn this thinking that they're the bomb, but actually a lot of people have spoken negative about them because of that really strong invasive presence. So in my opinion though, if you spray this really minimally, I think you will get the optimal like aura scent coverage on the sillage on this one, which is strong but not really super invasive, as in, you know, it could really like invade a whole corridor. Okay, so take it lightly and you'll have the optimal sillage and projection of this one. Okay, so now let's head into the mid right here of Afnan 9 p.m. Night Out. Now the dragon fruit continues on deep in the mid, and I'm talking about 3.5 to 4 hours deep into the mid, guys, and it is boosted by a synthetic molecule called mahonial. And mahonial, it smells like kind of like sweet floral lily of the valley scents, but it boosts that dragon fruit even forward, so it feels like you are smelling it all the way into the mid. Okay, so that is why this is a point of contention note, because if you don't like it, then there you go. You know, you're gonna get more of it if if you actually continue on with the scent. Now, it is flanked by a few notes that are more on the comforting side. I mean, definitely down the line, I would say that the combination of dragon fruit and the mahonial actually weakens, and you can smell parts of the comforting side of the mid, such as your toffee note, a caramelized toffee note. You have some cardamom spice, sweet, spicy, comforting cardamom spice that actually goes with woods as well as suede. So the suede actually starts the comforting part at kind of like the latter mid of the fragrance. Cardamom, suede, woods, these are notes that come at the latter part of the mid. Again, your dragon fruit and mahonial will rage on until about 3 to 4 hours of this scent. Then you have the background comforting notes right there. So that is one thing I will say, is that it's a continuum of that synthetic sweet bubblegum or urinal cakes dragon fruit boosted into this mid with some background notes. Okay, and finally, let's look into the dry down of this fragrance right here. The dry down starts at around, 6 hours of this fragrance. Again, the cardamom, the suede, the woods kind of set up that sweet and comforting type of ending, and it is continued on by tonka bean. And tonka bean is your hay-like sweet note that is, I would say, really prominent right here in the dry down all the way till the end, and you get some nice tonka bean as the sweet balancer. Now, this is where I kind of got excited because I was like, oh my gosh, there's ambro fix in this fragrance as well as akigala wood. These are notes that are popular in Ganymede and Blue Talisman, and they're here. Ambro fix is supposed to be, you know, kind of like an ambroxan type of fixative that makes it long lasting and even stronger. And then akigala wood is kind of like a patchouli style note that has its own smell, although this one also has patchouli. Now, this dry down to me was kind of like a disappointment, you know, and that makes sense because this is a $40 scent, and this dry down is really where you can see the difference between a $40 scent and a $300 scent. That it's not just some BS that they're just making up these prices, because they also put some money and some amounts of those notes into those fragrances. And here you can tell that it's very minimal. I mean, the akigala wood is really not akigala wood. It's mostly patchouli, dark, woody, earthy towards, you know, the ending of this fragrance. The ambro fix is also kind of like a minimal, like amber musk combination here towards the ending. And then, of course, the tonka bean, I would say, which is probably the cheaper one to get, is more prominent. Okay, so I would say that this ending is a straight up fade to black ending. It's not as hyped as what I, you know, thought it was going to be, the ending, because like I said, it's just dark, it's fade to black, it's musky with some sweet smells from amber as well as tonka bean. So this dry down, pretty underwhelming, and like I said, even down the line it becomes even more patchouli like with lesser sweeteners. So I don't know, maybe some people won't like this ending, or maybe will be underwhelmed by this ending, but hey, what can you complain with? It's a $40 scent, okay? They didn't have the budget to scale this in a higher level, like crazier type ending right here. Okay, so what do I think of this fragrance right here, Afnan 9 p.m. Night Out? I mean, it's a nice fragrance. I mean, this is a fragrance that I feel like, you know, people really can use for like a night out. I mean, it's a not really risky type of fragrance. It has its own like fruitiness and liveliness that, like I said, I mean, it could be either or how people or how you will translate the intro of the dragon fruit right here, boosted by that mahonial. But it's nice. I mean, it's something that, I mean, I think it's gonna fly under the radar if you spray this and you went out clubbing or you went out to a lounge with friends. But I think the bottom line here is that this is a fragrance for like a fun type person, okay? Somebody that actually like smiles and has a good sense of humor and, you know, dresses not really in a brooding way, kind of like in a fun way. I think it's for that kind of person, really. I think the introduction of that dragon fruit and mahonial will really match that kind of person. But of course, it's still flanked by other, you know, notes that are really popularized in a lot of designer scents, your apple, bergamot, lavender, what have you. I mean, it's really nice as well. So I think it really matters that the person that's wielding this fragrance would actually have some sort of personality in it. Because if you are one of those guys that's actually like kind of like brooding and, you know, you're wearing all black and you're trying to be mysterious, this is not a fragrance for that kind of person. Okay, this is not for the brooding mature type, but rather more of a youthful spirit type person with a good sense of humor, good fashion sense, and very outgoing. That thing I will say. Also, this fragrance to me is a grower. Okay, again, first time I wore this, I was just like, oh, you know, once the dragon fruit came, I was like, smells like the urinal cakes or, you know, some sort of like, you know, bathroom cleaner at the hospital, at the private hospital. But then eventually the more I wore it, you know, I guess my referencing changed because I got to smell more of the designer-esque like notes, the apple, bergamot, lavender, and then really that intro, which now I anticipated, really smelled more like bubblegum. Okay, so like I said, that's the 50-50. And again, to me, the more I wore it, the more I was okay with it. Spray this very very conservatively because it can be a very loud, and it could even be suffocating. I can definitely see it that this could suffocate other people. So definitely take it easy on the sprayer on this, okay? And of course, usage wise, this is a night out fragrance. Obviously, this is something that, you know, competes with the Versace Eros and such. A night out, I mean, people don't even go clubbing nowadays. People just go out and they eat with friends, really. Actually at 6 to 6:30 p.m. people don't even do the 9 p.m. no more. They should probably change the name to Afnan 6 p.m. because really most people are in bed by 9 p.m. That's the truth, guys, okay? But anyways, this is for any night out, like I said, but it's more on the personality. Okay, and it's definitely cool to cold weather AC environments, such as, you know, a nightclub or an indoor restaurant with AC, which is really, you know, very usable for this kind of, like, you know, 9 p.m. Time window. Okay, so definitely very usable. I would say it's also, again, for the youthful at heart, and not for the brooding, mature types, enigmatic types, because this is definitely not for those people. Okay, now total performance on this fragrance, guys. So this is really interesting. Ambro Fix is supposed to really propel this fragrance forward, but to me, guys, actually a lot of the strength of this fragrance was in the beginning to mid. Okay, the first like 6 to 8 hours of this fragrance is where you have the best and highest level of performance. And then after that, it, like I said, becomes a fade to black with notes of dark patchouli, and then, you know, whiffs of, you know, some sweetness here and there. So for me, yes, it is a 12-hour scent, but again, don't think that you're going to have a consistently strong dry down that will propel the smells of amber, you know, towards the end, because it won't. To me, the strongest part is really the first like maybe 8 to 10 hours, but past that, it's whiffs here and there up to the 12th hour mark, but really not that strong. So I would say a lot of it is going to be in the intro, the strength, but it's still going to be long lasting, just not consistently strong, long lasting. Okay, so finally, let's look at the cost of Afnan 9 p.m. Night Out, and is it a full bottle worthy fragrance? Now, the thing is that it's like $40, okay? It's really a cheap fragrance, which makes it really safe to blind buy, I'd say. And there's really no risk involved in this, unless $40 is really like a big amount for y'all. But even if you compare Afnan, the prices of Afnan, to designer scents, which is now, you know, they're reaching almost the niche prices at $200 something, guys. $40 is really affordable. And again, you do still get that kind of like mass appealing, like designer smell for a nice amount of $40. Okay, and like I said, the only thing that's probably gonna be the caveat here will be your dragon fruit. That strong dragon fruit that's boosted eventually by Mahonial. I mean, that thing right there is gonna be it. But again, you know, what's $40? I mean, why would you even get a sample? Like, I mean, I just did it because, you know, I'm reviewing, but why would you even get a sample? This sample was like $5 or something. I mean, if that matters to you, then go ahead. But it is a relatively small and safe, small risk blind buy. But again, think about it that this is a fragrance to be used for the 9 p.m.ers. Okay, that's one thing for sure. Let me get that straight, that should you decide to buy this fragrance, this is going to be more for like a night out with friends or with, you know, someone, and it's gonna really hit on your like funny, humorous, playful, outgoing side more than anything. The vibes will have to match this fragrance, in my opinion. And that is it. That is my no hype review of the latest Afnan 9 p.m. flanker, 9 p.m. night out. I know a lot of y'all requested that from me, and some of y'all have even said, like, I know you don't really do this, but you know, we really want to know what you think. So here's what I think, okay? And let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance. Did you get something similar to what I got, or was it totally different? Either way, as long as you are respectful to each other and myself, I'll allow it. You can just drop your comments and opinions on this scent itself, and I'm sure a lot of y'all have tried it at this point, given that there's a lot of hype already on it. So let me know in the comments below what you think, and if there's any similar fragrances that you think I should review that's gaining some hype and some traction, and you want some clarity, please comment below and I will get to it, okay? And I will see you guys on the next video. Unfortunately, I'm back at work, guys. Then we'll go into Valentine's Day. Hopefully you guys are maybe using this stuff to get your own Valentines, okay? And I'll see you guys on the next video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. God bless, take care. Peace.